Welcome to the Junkyard Rat Show. It's Mexican Independence Day. Feliz Día Independencia de México. Viva la televisión.
Wait, hold on. Did I hit the SAP button? All of a
You
sudden, we just
should.
went to Spanish, man.
It's Mexican Independence Day. I was just saying hi.
Gotcha.
I was saying hi. It's weird because I think their Independence Day lasts 2 days. I think it goes from the 15th to the 16th and stuff. Shouldn't we have some kind of parade? I mean, we're in the Mission District. Shouldn't they
Well, we're
do?
close to the Mission District. But
Yeah,
we are here in California, which is the land of good and plenty.
it's crazy. Of course, the breaking news is somebody tried to kill Trump again. They're always
Again.
trying to kill Trump. I don't know why they always want to kill Trump. It's really weird, and it was weird because this guy had like he had an AK-47 on the golf course, a Trump golf course in Florida, and I'm like, do you really need an AK-47 on the golf course? If you can't shoot a golf ball with a rifle, maybe you shouldn't be hunting. You know what I mean? There should,
Yeah, I thought they were supposed to use a club, not a rifle,
yeah. I
to
mean,
get it into the hole.
what's
How do you get the ball in the hole with an AK-47? Move it.
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised in the future if they got some kind of lasers on these sticks to really hit the golf ball. I'm not really that surprised, because I do think JD Vance is gonna make it to the White House as president. After Taylor Swift put that picture of herself with the cat right after
Oh, jeez.
the Kamala Harris debate with Trump,
Right.
something told me that the Illuminati is pointing more at JD Vance.
It's Illuminati.
Because we're in the age of social media. You heard of the age of Aquarius. This is social media. If you can come up with a meme that is the biggest meme of the political season, like JD Vance saying that you got these single women cat ladies, and it took off like a firestorm. And I'm thinking it just didn't take off because some woman heard about it. The media started pushing it and pushing it, and women started putting their pictures with the cats. That made me think and I didn't think much of it until Taylor Swift put up that picture. And I'm thinking, and it makes sense because we're headed for World War III. We need somebody who was in the military to lead us to this war. America's undefeated in 2 world wars. So I think they know we need to get inside, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is not around in November.
Right. Just in you mean of this world?
I
You
don't
mean
know.
you mean if he's gonna be alive? Are you making a prediction? What is this? Is
Uh,
this the Deadpool?
it's not a Deadpool, but I have a weird feeling something's gonna happen that JD Vance is gonna end up in the White House.
Oh, so in other words, like Trump might get elected, but he's gonna end up his successor's gonna take over.
I mean, Taylor Swift is never wrong.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is never wrong. I was a Niner fan. I knew the Niners were going to lose in the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift is like the main picture of the Illuminati right now. They gotta put her on money, give her like a dollar bill or something because as soon as I saw
She's
that
more popular than all of our politicians probably put together.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that picture, right after the debate, I'm thinking, I think JD Vance is going to find himself in the White House.
Oh, you mean her with her cat and supporting Harris? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was like a dead giveaway, because we are in the social media age. If your whatever you say is so big that there's nothing bigger. Harris and Trump have not said anything close to being that unpopular.
Right.
I mean, Trump did say about eating your cats and dogs and all that. But isn't that just an extension of the whole, single women with their cat pictures?
Something like that.
So my prediction is we're gonna see JD Vance in the White House. He might. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Trump wants to win the election. I'm quite sure Trump doesn't want to be president. You know, I mean, why would he? After what they did to Biden, can you imagine 2 years from now? CNN is already talking about how Trump has amnesia, losing his memory. He's not the same person. I mean, if I were him, I would get JD Vance in there and get out, you know?
Right.
Get out like when he can and stuff. But of course, I had to talk about the thing about like Kamala is when I thought about the first female president, I wasn't picture Kamala. I always thought it was gonna be like a blonde with big boobs, a fat ass, you know, somebody like that we could all like want to bang and stuff. I was thinking maybe she would have 3 hot daughters. We could each pick our daughter, which one we thought it was hottest. Every time the economy was doing bad, we could all suck on our titties for a while, like she could breastfeed us. I'm thinking the first female president we would be calling mommy, Why wouldn't I vote for mommy? Nobody's calling Kamala mommy. But I'm thinking that's the kind of woman we need in there. Somebody we can all call mommy. We can feel safe. Like, come to mommy, come to mommy.
Oh, jeez.
What did you think about? Did you ever picture what the first female president was going to be like?
No, not really. I figured it would be kind of like maybe you see in the movies. It would probably have not been my guess that it was not only going to be a woman, but a woman of color and stuff like that. So I figured it was probably going to be, to be honest, a white woman that had been in politics. So someone like a Hillary. But too many people did not like Hillary. So, but something like that. Somebody that had been in politics, had been in the public eye, and that people would accept. And so this makes kind of a normal transition. I mean, she has been in the public eye. She hasn't made any bad mistakes. She just doesn't have a lot of things on her record of completing and kicking butt at.
She's just not mommy, We're looking for
mommy.
She's not mommy. I was jealous. I went to junior college with Monica Lewinsky at Santa Monica College. I was jealous. There's never been a female president. I could go in there and bang as an intern. I might be a little too old to be an intern, but
right.
I mean, the truth is, I haven't heard anybody tell me they think Kamala's hot, and that's a problem. That's a real problem. Because you look at what female presidents have been in the movies. Which ones can you remember?
Which ones that have been presidents? I just saw the one I just saw. What was it? It was something on Netflix, but
was she blonde?
Yeah, she was blonde, and what it was is that her son was running. What was the movie? So her son, so she had a big corporation. She was almost like a Trump. She had a big corporation, and when she became Madam President, she had to turn over her company to her family, and her husband that actually had built the company up or whatever had died, but she turned it on to her son, and her son was a drug addict, and that was selling. Oh, The Beekeeper.
Oh, The Beekeeper.
It was The Beekeeper. I had to get all the way through the plot line to remember who.
Yeah, that just came out a couple of months ago.
Right, yeah. With the Jason Statham, where he goes in and he takes out the call center. So basically, even though the Madam President ran this corporation, her son does now, and he turned it into like a call center company that goes and like rips off people of their pensions and shit like that. And that's what The Beekeeper. So yeah, that was the last one I saw, was the female president and Beekeeper.
See, she was blonde,
middle-aged.
What kind of boobage did she have?
What kind of boobage did she
have? Big old boobs.
She was a tall, slender, kind of model type girl. So yeah, there was boobs. If you want to know, I don't remember the breast size or cup size or
Hey, women have been sexualizing male presidents for forever. So why can't I?
Why
They
can't
they
you?
call me sexist, but didn't women want to bang Bill Clinton? Weren't they opening? Weren't they open about their desire to sleep with Bill Clinton? You
Apparently
know,
so.
didn't they want to bang Obama? Weren't they open about their desires about Obama? You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, just but not before that, other than Clinton and Obama. But yeah,
The
or even
Kennedy,
Kennedy's. Okay, Kennedy.
JFK.
Okay,
Look at
there
Reagan.
you go.
Reagan might have been in the 70s, but there's women trying to drop their panties for Reagan and stuff, you know? I don't know about Jimmy Carter. He's a good guy, you know? Jimmy was the last good guy president, you know? And I'm quite sure if he had another term, we would have found out he was banging interns too or something,
Right, right,
you
right.
know? Because they all bang interns and stuff. They all bang interns. But yeah, you know, that's the way I see it. And I'm not saying I don't think they're gonna get to Trump, but I mean, and then people aren't showing up to the rallies. Of course, they're not showing up to the rallies. Somebody tried to kill him at a fucking rally. Would you go to a Trump rally unless you were like a real loyal follower? I think everybody that went in there just to see what it was like aren't showing up anymore. We're just getting the real loyal people at these Trump rallies and stuff.
They said they caught the guy, or they know who the person is. It was on Friday or yesterday or whenever he did that attempt. They said
Oh
something
yeah,
about this morning.
they caught him.
They caught him,
They tried to shoot at him. I don't think he came close, but
but he got away in a car.
yeah, it's weird. I mean, this is a real golf course. What are you gonna do? Like check everybody playing there? But you know, the weird thing is, every time they try and kill Trump, you never hear liberals trying saying that they gotta ban these automatic weapons. You know,
Right.
it's only when somebody dies that you know they don't feel bad about. But they try and kill Trump. Nobody says like we gotta ban these weapons. You know, they're like maybe we should just give out these weapons more and stuff. But you know, it's a bad cause. You know, because if they do take out Trump before this election, there's no way Kamala's gonna win this thing, you know?
Right.
And there might be like a big ass riot. Not in California though. I think we're safe.
No, I think we're kind of safe in California, although
They'll be
I
throwing
can't
a
believe
big
how many
riot.
followers he does have. You don't realize it until you start watching certain things.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I saw the other day when it was the 9/11 memorial or something, and Kamala was there, Biden was there, and Trump was there. And Trump actually got a kind of a good reception. It wasn't that. It was something else in the Midwest because it wasn't New York. But literally, when Biden and Harris walked in, there wasn't really an applause. There was just kind of a murmur and, and them waving at people. And then when Trump came in, there was actually a round of applause. And I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you know, and the other thing is the Trump people, they understand social media better than the Democrats.
Right?
You know, you got one group who realizes Trump is just, he's telling a joke about the whole cat and dog, eating the cats and dogs. It's a joke. But the other side is like, man, he's crazy. He's like making up stuff. And I'm like, I hate to tell you this, but you know, I lived in Venezuela as a kid and I ate iguanas. I ate an iguana there. I'm quite sure there's people in America eating cats and dogs right now because they're starving. We don't feed people who are starving in this country, you know. There's food going to waste. I'm sure there are people eating cats and dogs. These people who are like, he's crazy. I'm like, he's not that crazy, you know. He's not that crazy. We live in California, so we're in the Bay Area, so you know, your cat and dog might be safe, but you know. Anyways, is there anything worse than a dead cat? You could smell a dead cat a mile away. If the cat has been sitting around dead in the street for a week, I'm telling you, it will take down your real estate value quickly, you know? There's nothing that dead cats smell really bad. I've never seen a dead dog on the street though, you know? It's really weird. I've never seen like a dead dog somewhere.
I'm glad this. I have, but what a weird turn this podcast is. I know it's just you.
No, but I'm,
But are we? But were you talking? Are we talking about the Haitians thing, or what are we talking about the dead animals? I kind of lost track where you were going there. So
you know what?
the JD Vance thing.
We owe a lot to Haiti. I think we should treat Haiti better. Haiti is actually responsible for liberating South America. The Haiti people, they give money to South Americans to get rid of the Spanish. Simon Bolivar. The weapons came out of Haiti. Back in the 1700s and 1800s, Haiti was a rich country. We basically took all their natural resources out of Haiti. The worst thing that happened to Haiti. Do you know what the worst thing that ever happened to Haiti?
What's that? The what was it? The hurricane or whatever it was?
The Clintons.
Oh, the Clintons.
The Clintons spent their honeymoon in Haiti. That's when you know these people are crazy. They spent their honeymoon in Haiti. Why would you go to Haiti for your honeymoon? What kind of crazy shit is that? Are you looking for some weird shit down there? That's the worst thing that happened. And we didn't do any favors to Haiti. We acted like we were helping them out. But we all when is it that America's gonna stand up for their neighbors, A lot of these countries, it's our fault. We gotta stand up for these people, These people are the Monroe Doctrine that we signed said we basically have control of this region. We gotta protect these people. I think we gotta treat Haiti better. And I'm not even surprised that the Haitians are here. The Haitians were in Chile in large numbers. The Haitians went to Chile in large numbers. A lot of these people are walking from Central America to America. And it's our thing. We got to do something about it. But, everybody's talking about politics. So we're talking about politics. I'm excited. I'm really excited, There's other sad news. The Niners lost in Minnesota.
The Niners lost
in Minnesota.
Wow, I didn't see that. That was Sunday's game.
Yeah, I wasn't even that surprised. Because they lost their running back McCaffrey for 4 games. They won the opening, but anytime you travel, especially to a sad place like Minnesota, you might not play that well.
Right.
You can't win every goddamn game.
No, not even if you're the 49ers or whatever your favorite team is.
I was surprised. I thought Minnesota played indoors. I guess they got an outdoor stadium now, didn't they? It looked like that game was outdoor.
Did they?
Yeah, it looked like the game was outdoors and stuff.
I can't look that up. Where was it?
It was in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I think it's St. Paul, or is it the other one? And I found out the VP choice.
It was the Vikings, right?
The VP choice for Kamala. He was an assistant football coach. He was an assistant high school football coach, which makes sense, because every head football coach I know, they're all conservatives. I don't know what it is about football that is really conservative, It's like football is like one side is very conservative, the other side is very liberal, and it does cut down racial lines.
So the reason it looked like it was outside is because most of it is glass. It's called the U.S. Bank Stadium. It was $1.1 billion.
$1.1 billion.
And there's the stadium. But a lot of it is glass.
Oh, it's glass. Okay.
All the sides are glass. The top looks like a weird kind of glass. So
that's why I'm like, are they outdoors now? Or?
Isn't that kind of funny? Yeah.
I didn't realize it was glass.
Yeah, look at this. So here's the side of the building. See it?
That is nice.
And I'll show you guys too, so you guys can see. So the whole side of the building is glass.
Yes.
There's my phone, in case you guys wanted to see.
It was funny because the Minnesota quarterback was actually the backup for the 49ers last year.
Right.
So he's probably really excited, but I don't think it's a big deal, you know? The Cowboys got blown out, though. That's a big deal. The 49ers, I mean,
That shit happens.
they had a chance to stop them and win the game, so it was close enough. But like I said, anytime you travel, I mean, it's always questionable. Sometimes they can't get excited about games like in Minnesota. I never played in the NFL. I don't know. If I was playing in the NFL, I probably would not be excited about Minnesota either. And they lost in Minnesota last year. How the hell did they end up playing in Minnesota 2 years in a row? I mean, who came up with that idea and stuff?
Somebody's getting money somewhere. That's promotion.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of promotion, our friends over at Live Nation gave me some tickets to give to you to see if we can get some subscribers for you and butts and seats for them. It's kind of a combined thing here with Edge Studios and Junkyard Rat and Live Nation. What we're doing is we're trying to get, again, you guys to get some laughter and Chris to get subscribers. So the first people that subscribe to Junkyard Rat on all platforms and send us a screenshot of that and send it to the Junkyard Rat on the platform you just subscribed to. If it's Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, do that. Send the screenshot that you've subscribed, and Chris is going to get you a set of tickets. The first set of tickets is for...
What are the tickets for? I'm blind.
You're blind? Okay, this one is for Cobb's on Sunday, September 22nd, 7 p.m. show. It's Brittany Schmidt. Now, Brittany Schmidt is the one that just released her special, Horny. So check out Brittany Schmidt. Doors open at 6, shows at 7, Sunday, September 22nd. Again, this is a combined promotion with Live Nation, Edge Studios, and, of course, the Junkyard Rat Show. You show us that you subscribe to one or all three of those things. Should I say all three? All three of those things gets a set of tickets for that. And you have to send Junkyard Rat a screenshot that you subscribe to his page as well as Live Nation and Edge Studios.
I need to go to that show because I'm always horny, and I think it's the weed. I think the weed that I smoke, because it doesn't come out of dispensaries, they might spray some stuff on it that makes you horny.
It makes you horny.
I'm always horny. I don't understand.
Actually, if that actually was excuse me, guys. If that was actually a byproduct of pot, you instead of yawning like I just did, if that was a byproduct of pot, boy, you'd have a lot more people even smoking it, I would think.
I mean,
even the people that have a problem with pot, they'd be like, oh, but I want my penis to work.
Yeah, I don't know. And so that's this Sunday.
Yep.
And we got tickets for the 27th, don't we?
Yeah, we also have tickets for Friday, September 27th, which is a great show. It's Kevin Herrera at Cobb's. And again, all you have to do is subscribe to Junkyard Rat, Live Nation, and Edge Studios. Send us a screenshot of those and be the first person to drop into his DMs. See, I even get you a DM.
Is that Spider-Man? The last Spider-Man's last name was Herrera.
Herrera. Oh, was that? No, that's not.
It's a cartoon they made. What was the name? Wasn't it Herrera?
Oh, really? But it's not. I was thinking of what's the...
Herrera.
No, I was thinking the guy from whatever, but his last name's not Herrera.
Are you going to be on this show? They're going to let you open up?
Oh, yeah, they'll let me open up. That's what they'll do. Yeah, Live Nation, if you want me to open for any of your acts, I'm there for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, they give you the tickets. Like, why not give us some love, you know?
Right. Well, they're
give
giving us
some
tickets
love.
to give us love. And
so how was Comedy Day? Tell us about Comedy Day.
Comedy Day was great. It was, I'm always exhausted. It's always like one of the longest days for me. But it was a great event. Turned out well. The weather was windy. very windy weather.
San Francisco, windy day. That's like really strange.
Yeah, and then it was a little cold in the morning, but otherwise it burned off kind of well at night. And then all the acts were great. The event went off pretty well. No problems there, and everybody had a blast. I mean, I enjoyed myself thoroughly and saw a lot of good friends. It's kind of our company picnic. Why didn't I see you?
I don't know.
Why don't you go to Comedy Day? Because it's Sunday and Golden Gate Park, and it's a pain in the ass to get back home.
I mean, the truth is, Golden Gate Park scared the shit out of me. It's so big. I don't know how to get. I don't even know how to get around that park because I don't drive. So I have no clue where they do this thing.
Really? So have you just never been to
I've
Comedy
been
Day?
I've been to Comedy Day years ago, but like there's something about that park that I don't like. I don't know what it is, but since I don't drive, I've always thought like I'm gonna get lost and never make it out of that park. So it's one of those places where, and I wasn't the only one. I mean, Roseanne Barr broke her leg in the park.
Did she?
Yeah, so I was like, that's one of the reasons I don't go to that place. Like, there's something weird about it, but I'm really upset that Susan Maleta didn't get on that stage. What does Susan have to do to get on that stage?
Submit a video and get it approved. And Susan's one of my favorite comedians. I won't just say female comedians, but one of my favorite comedians here in the Bay Area. And she leans a little bit like you and I, where she'd rather perform blue or at least honest and no hold bars. But so that can be done well. If you're a good enough writer and you're skilled enough and you do it right. So I went up there. I did what I think is about what you should do. I could have got a little bit more risque and this and that, but I don't know. I made some jokes. I think the only joke that I made it wasn't even borderline. I made some mushroom joke about mushrooms, by the way, guys.
That's
mushrooms.
right. Those mushrooms got me in trouble with Instagram.
The whole dried. I didn't even realize. I thought these were the chocolate ones, but it's from the same people. So it's albino trinity.
Yeah, I took a picture of the mushrooms. I put it on Instagram, and they're like, "You're dealing drugs. We're not going to let you go live for 30 days."
So this is, it says, handcrafted small batch. Let your adventures begin. May your tales be legendary. Tales of the sacred mushroom is dedicated to growing using and only the finest ingredients. Use mindfully, best when taken with clear intentions in safe surroundings. This product contains organic, laboratory cultivated, psychedelic psilocybin mushrooms. Keep away from minors.
I don't know what that means. Is it homegrown? Can you grow
it's basically
mushrooms?
you grow it. They grow it in a lab, but it's not really a lab. People grow them in fish tanks, kind of thing.
Yeah, Susan was on stage at Cal's, and then she got mad at me and said that my dad had a small dick. And I had to tell her that, but my daddy don't got no small dick, bitch.
There you go.
Don't be talking about my daddy's dick.
This is gonna be a reel on YouTube right now. I know it.
Yeah, I'm like, please, But she never said I had a small dick, so she knows better. She knows better. I'm like, am I supposed to defend my dad's dick size? Am I supposed to get on stage like, don't be talking about my daddy's dick? You do realize I came out of that dick, don't you? I came out. I was
shot
sperm.
out. Yes.
I shot out of that penis, and it took me 2 years because that penis was so long. It took me 2 years to shoot out of it. But I'm like, don't be talking about my daddy's dick, But I thought that was awkward because I'm like, I need to defend my daddy's dick, but I can't defend it too much, But I was like, but. She didn't have the balls to say my dick was small because I think she figured out my dick ain't small. But I don't know why they wouldn't let her a comedy day, because she might start telling Will Durst he has a small dick. Will Durst has got a small dick. I'm like, oh, that's not allowed, But hey, I think that's her main thing is Her main thing is telling people that their dad has small dicks. You know, your daddy got a small dick. I'm like, you gotta come up with new jokes. God damn it, you gotta come up with a new put down. You just can't say over and over people's dads have small dicks. You know, I mean, it's awkward. It's upsetting. You know, it's not okay. It's just not okay. But she did invite me to go to Pacifica to go look at the whales and stuff.
Yeah, so I was just looking up, which is KPCR, which is K Pirate Cat Radio.
Yeah, she's on Pirate Cat
So
Radio.
I just looked at that, which is 101.9. I guess they're still, maybe they have a transmitter still out there, out on the coast, but that's strange. I'd like to know more about that. But anyway, which I know you never know who's listening. Everybody's listening. But she actually had something on KPCR.
Yeah, she has a weekly show on KPCR, doesn't she? Or-
Yeah, I don't know because I'm looking for anything that kind of states that.
Well, no, you got to go to her Facebook page.
Oh, it's called Annoyed.
Annoyed. Yeah, that's her show.
So let's read a voiceover for that. I'll accept your cookies, folks.
That's right.
Annoyed. Introducing the electrifying Susan Maleta, host of Annoyed, a sensational comedy radio show centered around mastering the art of anger management. In this adrenaline-packed first episode, Susan is absolutely pumped to welcome her close friends, the uproariously funny California Bay Area comedians Priscilla Torres, Ed Black, and Faco. Faco. With each riveting episode, Susan dives headfirst into her most infuriating pet peeves, and not only that, she delves into the mind-blowing articles of anger management that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Huh. There you go. But that's not all. Get ready for the wild ride as Susan sits down with the wittiest local comedians to discover their biggest annoyances and how they would conquer them with an epic humor and wit.
That's right.
It keeps going. That's a long show description. But you can check it out, Susan Maleta on KPCR 92.9 FM on Tuesdays from 8 to 9 p.m.
Don't be making fun of my dad's dick no more.
There you go. So her latest episode was about 6 days ago, which makes sense. And she was on episode 38.
38. She's killing it. She's killing it.
Oh, that's good.
Does she go to Los Gatos to like?
No, it's probably, I'm guessing, does some sort of recording from wherever she wants to do it. So like even like what we do here at Edge Studios, you can do it like we're doing it here organically. You log into your socials, you stream directly, or people can come in and record something and do whatever they want.
Los Gatos.
Los Gatos. It's the cat.
You know, J.D. Vance is not going to be campaigning Los Gatos.
Los Gatos.
He's afraid of Los Gatos.
Because the cats are going to come after him.
The cats are coming after him. It's scary. It's scary. I think Trump was in town last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was money? It wasn't even Woodside for some fundraiser.
Was he hiding in Woodside or?
Yeah, usually, and I forget who the person up there is. It's somebody to do with like Bezos or someone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those techie people. There's a lot of techie Republicans. I don't know how it is. I don't know how
they like their money and they like to keep their money.
That is true.
That's basically it, right?
I don't know. I guess I read somewhere that there's a Google lawyer who helped Kamala get ready for the debate, and people are upset. But you know, Google has been doing this for years. So, but I'm sure I knew somebody. I thought it was Jon Stewart. I thought it was John. I thought it was John. Did you watch the Emmys last night?
No, because I was at a comedy day. Yeah. So.
Oh no, the Emmys were at night. Was it all night or?
No, but I'm there until late. I'm the almost one of the first people in the meta and the last person to leave. I'm always the last person to leave.
So who else did you see? Any like? Are we talking about any famous people showed up this year?
Paula Poundstone.
Oh yeah.
And then
my mom saw Paula Poundstone a couple years ago when she was at the Leisure Center.
Oh yeah,
And you
yeah.
know who else my mom saw at the Leisure Center? My mom actually saw J.D. Vance speak like 5 years ago
Really?
at the Leisure Center. Yeah,
That's funny.
it was kind of a secret. I'm not allowed
Is
to.
it Leisure or Lesher?
I think it's a Leisure, but I call it the
Because they're
Leisure.
lying.
I call it the Leisure. The
The
Leisure
Leisure.
because it's mostly old people. You know.
Got you.
I mean, the Leisure. Have you been to the Leisure Center? They have like 4 shows a night. They got like 3 different rooms.
Really?
Yeah, I mean
It's
they.
like a convention center.
Yeah, but it's like they got like 3 different shows a night, different stuff. I mean, they packed.
Like
I,
3 venues in one, basically.
yeah, they got 3 venues in one. It's in downtown Walnut Creek. I think they got one venue with 1,000 seats,
Right.
one with 500. I think another one's like got 200. I saw the what's the name of that Swedish band? ABBA. I saw the ABBA, not ABBA, but I saw an ABBA imitation
Oh, jeez.
down there, and some old person I think had cardiac arrest. They had to, in the middle of this show, they had to bring in the ambulance.
Really?
Yeah, they brought in the ambulance. Another time I saw a magician there, uh, and
And where's that? What city is that?
in Walnut Creek.
It is in Walnut. So
Yeah.
that's close to your place.
Yeah, Viant does a show I think every Saturday there, the best of SF. But yeah, they got like every night they got things going on down there, and they pack that place up. It's a nice venue and stuff. But
You know who hosted the last set of comedians? So there's 5 hosts throughout the night.
is it Capura or?
No, so Scott Capurro was there and did a set, but it was Max Gale from Barney Miller,
Oh yeah,
Wojo Hoetz from Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
Yeah, they even brought him up with the theme song.
Oh yeah, that was like 45, 50 years ago.
Is it that long ago?
Yeah, Barney Miller was in the 70s.
70s, yeah.
70s. Yeah, because
70 plus 20 is, that'd be 50.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paula Poundstone. She's kind of creepy, isn't she? Though I mean,
She did a great set. I always love her
she
stuff.
probably is.
She's offbeat. You're offbeat. You're an offbeat comic.
Nah.
So you have a habit of doing. You do it more than she does. I was gonna say sometimes you do the make people kind of squirm in their seats, make them feel a little uncomfortable, but you like seeing people do that.
No, the truth is that I look at the crystal ball and I predict the future. I try to. So you might not like what I'm saying, but what can I say?
Well, but no, it's not that I don't like what you're saying. That's not right. What I'm saying is, so like if we were at the Brainwash and we were watching 50 comics, I'd remember you. You know why? Because you're not like every other middle-aged or whatever white guy telling set-up punch jokes that are.
Yo soy Latino. Yo soy Latino.
I know you're.
Yo soy Latino. I don't know why people think I'm white. I don't got white money, so I might live.
Well,
in
none of us do. But
I might live in a white neighborhood, but
I guess what I'm saying is that I remember you in a lineup of 50 because you're different than most. And that's a good thing to do. Yes.
Isn't that the?
Yes.
But it is hard to get booked.
I'm not criticizing you at all. I think that's what sets you apart.
But it is hard to get booked, but because people don't like people like that opening up for them.
How hard do you try to get booked? Or do you just wait for people to contact you?
I don't really try and get booked anymore, because
You don't want to.
I don't really know that many people anymore in this.
Because you don't do as many, let's say, open mics. You're not walking all these.
I don't do any open mics.
Right. So
I don't do any open mics.
So you don't know the newer generation of comedians and producers.
Yeah, I don't know this whole generation. Like, I remember we sent all these people to LA. I think 99% of them all bombed out, And I expected one of them to do well and take me with them, but turns out it didn't happen. But no, I don't try and get booked because it's like, it's I'm not part of any of these cliques,
Well, I was just gonna say somebody mentioned to me yesterday at at Comedy Day, they said, "Oh, I'm just waiting for my time when I get booked at the Faction." And I said, "Oh, cool. Have you already hit them up?" And they said no, but I figure it's just a matter of time. And I go, "No, it's not just a matter of time. Just because you're a Bay Area comedian and another Bay Area comedian opened a club and they know who you are."
Yeah.
So like even that's Stroy's club. I don't expect Stroy to book me out of the blue.
Yeah.
I don't think he's thinking even in the first 150 comedians that he's going to book as openers or middles or hosts that he's going to go, "Oh, Paul Brumbaugh." I'm thinking that you have to hit them up. You still have to hit them up. You still have to submit sets and you still have to hustle. Same thing with this whole thing. So
You got to show up, actually. I think with a club like The Function, you just got to go there. You got to keep going until they get annoyed and put you on stage.
but that's if you go to, I think they have an open mic on Mondays on Today, don't
Well,
they?
you can. They got. You should just show up every night. Anytime you in town. I think The Function is like an open thing. You know.
It is. It's a bar. It's actually a bar and venue like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is just going there and patronizing is not going to be enough. I would
No.
think that they have to see your comedy and they have to think you're funny and they have to go, "Oh,
Yeah.
I know where I could put them in."
You know, I don't expect The Function to book me because I understand like the type of shows they are. You know, I wasn't around for a while. I kind of disappeared, but this is my time. This is when I come out. This is when I get on fire. This is when I
This is
burn
do you
up.
feel this is when you're going to make your change or your presence?
I'm a political animal, and that's one of the things that I always find weird about comedians these days. They don't talk about politics. They're afraid about talking about politics, and I think that's one of the reasons why this is my time because
You don't care.
the truth is that I've always talked about politics because where I came from, where I was born, you got to know what's going on, you got it. But a lot of these people, they're afraid. A lot of these younger comedians are afraid to talk about politics.
Yeah, because they don't want to divide a room.
They don't wanna-
They don't want to lose half of their or 30% of their audience because they're talking shit about the opposition.
But the reality is, most of America is talking right now about politics.
That's true.
That you go to a comedy show, they want to hear politics because everybody else is talking about politics.
So they want to hear people speak truth to power and fuck with politicians. They don't want.
Yeah.
They don't want to necessarily listen about policy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's not about policy, but just talk about the debates, what's going on. I asked before, are there any Trump supporters in the room?
Right.
And
Oh, so you get a feeling of how much of a Trump room it is.
well, I know somebody in there who's a Trump supporter.
Well, yeah, and depending on where you're at now, you're in California and San Francisco, and you're right. There's going to be less Trump supporters. But then I just did a set out in the Valley, and if you ask if there's Trump supporters in the room, you hear a lot.
The Valley is full of Trump supporters.
Yeah.
The San Joaquin Valley, Fresno is
Stanislaus, all that stuff.
all that area. Anywhere that there's our culture, there's a lot of Republicans.
Oh, yeah. And
And they don't like weed, which is weird. They grow a lot of shit, but they don't like weed. It's really weird, but yeah, it's. And I'm just saying is,
because they're not the creative types. And I don't want to say that Republicans can't be entertainers, but it's funny. It seems like they're more of the artistic ones seem to be more of the Democrats. We were just saying that Republicans are the ones that are, want to make their money and keep it. And so there's certain stereotypical things that are true about both sides.
Yeah, it's like when I heard that Tim Walz was a high school football coach, I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And then I heard he was an assistant coach. And I said, that sounds about right. Because football coaches are mostly conservative.
Conservative
Conservative.
and hard asses.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't understand. Somebody would explain to me. You look at the NFL. Most of the white players in the NFL come out of the conservative areas, the Midwest, the South. You know,
Right.
and I'm not even sure why that is, but it's like, yeah, it's true. And when you live in the Bay Area your whole life, I mean, I went to Fresno State, so I saw the other side, but it's like, and I was talking to somebody about this, like the Bay Area is split in three, you know. The weird thing about the Bay Area is, you know, if you live like in the Oakland area, you're not going to San Francisco that much. You're not crossing the Bay Bridge unless you have to. If you live on the other side, you're not coming to Oakland. You're not crossing the Bay Bridge.
Right.
If you live in the North Bay, you're not coming to this side at all. You know, you're not crossing the Golden Gate Bridge, the San Mateo Bridge to come out here. So it's really weird how we're all like segregated in a way, you know?
We are all kind of separated by some water or landmass or
Except
bridge.
for Christian. Christian goes to Oakland. I live in Walnut Creek, but I walk through the I walk through neighborhoods where there's garbage everywhere. There's dead people lying in the ground, you know. I do step over dead people to get to my weed sesh once in a while. I see homeless people everywhere, you know. So in a way, I'm different but a lot of people, you know, they stay in their neighborhood, they don't cross over, and then they turn around and try and tell you how things are. And I'm like, you don't even know how things are because you're stuck in your own little world. You're not going to other places in the Bay Area. You're not seeing reality, you know.
Right.
And I tell people like it's easy to be in Walnut Creek to be anti-guns and all that. Nobody's gonna rob you in Walnut Creek, you know. But you live in Oakland, you might need a gun to survive. You might get robbed a lot in your own house.
Mhm.
And I tell people like you gotta be more open-minded. You can't just like be one-sided. You can't say I live in Walnut Creek, gun control.
Right.
You know.
You know your neighborhood.
My
You know
neighbor-
your hood.
Well, I live in a senior community, so
Right.
I live in a senior community and stuff, you know. The weird thing about it, I ordered some mint green Crocs like 2 months ago.
Right.
They arrived in my house yesterday. 2 months ago
2 months ago, where did you order them from?
from Crocs.com.
And it took that long?
I don't know. I couldn't figure out where it was, but they finally arrived. I mean, but I ordered some black Crocs from Amazon. They arrived in my house in 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours.
So why do you wear Crocs? Are they just comfortable?
Yeah, because they're comfortable. I'm trying to convince people that I'm some hippie.
Oh,
know?
like hipster.
I'm like, I'm a hipster. Don't rob me. Don't rob me.
Gotcha. So, but you like it. So, do you get the little jewels or little gems or whatever they call them?
I haven't gone that far, but I was thinking like if you had told me 2 years ago that I would have 2 pairs of Crocs before I had 2 different wives, I would have told you were crazy. I was sure I was going to get a second wife before I was going to buy but God damn it, do I got 2 pairs of Crocs or what? Before I got 2 wives.
So I know that they're saying that we're going through global warming, but they said something about like the Sierras are supposed to get snow sooner than they have for like 20 years.
That's right.
It's more like an ice age.
That's right, you know. There is global warming. I mean, we've gone through global warming before. I mean, of course we're going to go through global warming eventually. Look at all the gas we use, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, the electric cars aren't better for the environment. Electricity does not come from some cloud. It doesn't come from heaven, you know.
Right.
It's still energy we're using. We're wasting energy and stuff. I think we should go back to like the Flintstones card. Just use our feet.
Go back to our feet. At this point, Trump wants to go back to, if we get him again, he wants to go back to oil.
I mean, why not go back to oil? You know?
I mean, they're talking about like one of the ways to get it. They're talking about is that fracking.
Fracking is crazy, you know. Fracking is not a good idea, but
Right.
you know, I'm not down with fracking but if it's in somebody else's backyard, I guess I'll have to tolerate it. But the truth is, I don't even fucking drive.
Mhm.
So I'm all, you know, in fact, I'll tell you this much. In 20 years, there won't be any cars in San Francisco. I think one day they're just going to shut down traffic, except for the residents. If you live in San Francisco, they're going to let you drive. They're not going to let anybody drive into San Francisco anymore.
Right.
I think they're going to shut it down. And that's the way I see things going. If you ask me what San Francisco's going to be like, they're going to close this place down. They're going to put fences in it. They're not going to let anybody come in with a car anymore.
Right.
They're going to burn down the bridges, you know. You want to come to San Francisco, you got to get on BART. You got to take the ferry and stuff.
Got to take the ferry into the city. All right. Promote Live Nation, Junkyard Rat, and Ed Studios while I grab myself some caffeine.
That's right. September 22nd, go to Cobb's Comedy Club. You know, do you know where Cobb's is? It's in North Beach. It's near Cal's. So if you want a ticket, go to Junkyard Rat on Instagram and follow me and comment on my page. Tell them how great I am, how much you love me. We got election time. We got senators coming in, you know. I think this is going to be the first time in like 30 years that California is not going to have a female senator. It breaks my heart that we're not going to have a female senator. We never had a female governor in California. And it's because, you know, rich women don't want to live in Sacramento, you know. That's one of the main reasons why I don't even think we had a serious candidate, female candidate. I think Feinstein thought about running, but I mean, we got to, now we're not going to, I was hoping Steve Garvey would become senator because he was my brother's favorite player growing up. But Steve Garvey couldn't make the Hall of Fame. My favorite player growing up was Reggie Jackson, who's in the Hall of Fame. So that's why I'm a better person than my brother, because his favorite baseball player didn't make the Hall of Fame, Steve Garvey. Mine did. It was my brother's birthday on the 13th of September.
Really?
13th of September, my brother's actually in London right now. He's in London.
How old is your brother?
54. He's an old man. 54. My brother's a year and a half older than me and stuff. I think the only time I receive a text from my brother is on my birthday. You know, and I never get a text back. I always thank him, and and I texted him for his birthday, but yeah, I don't get a text. Was it a text or an email? I don't even, actually, my brother called me. My mom was in Chile last month, and my mom claims she couldn't find me. She called my brother to call me.
Right.
And I'm like, my mom's got secret cameras in the condo, you know. My mom knows where the hell I am. What right this? Because she wanted me on WhatsApp. My mom wanted me to sign up for WhatsApp, and I didn't want to do it. I resisted it. I resisted signing up for WhatsApp. I didn't want to be on WhatsApp. And the main reason why, I don't know, I just don't want to be on WhatsApp.
Right.
But she wanted me on WhatsApp, and she got upset with me. And then she decided to, like, have my brother get on my ass. Like, why are you ignoring your mom? I'm like, I'm not ignoring my mom. My mom emails me. I email her back, you know. I'm not ignoring my mom. But, like, oh, you ignoring me. I'm going to have your brother call you. I'm like, Come on, you know. My mom has cameras. She knows where the hell I'm at all times, you know.
Right.
It's silly. It's silly. I'm not a child and stuff. I'm not a child, you know. I'm actually a really good son. I don't have a criminal record. I'm not out there doing any drugs, you know.
No, you're not out there doing drugs.
You know, a lot of people wish I was their
You
son.
give me all your drugs.
Yeah. A lot of people wish I was their son. But of course, not most people have a brother like my brother who's what can I say about my brother? He he worked for the UN. He's done really good things. You know, lived in Rome,
Right.
lived in San Francisco. My brother's an overachiever, okay? So maybe compared to an overachiever, I might not look like the best son. But you know, if I had
Your
a
son, your brother's what? A doctor, a lawyer, doctor,
my brother's a CPA.
a
He's a
CPA. So
CPA.
he's a numbers guy.
He's a CPA, that's right. And my brother worked for the UN in Rome. He worked for FAO, the Food Agriculture Organization, you know.
Right.
And so my brother was an overachiever. I might not look like the greatest son compared to my brother. But you know what? If I had another sibling that was a drug addict, people my mom would be like, what a great kid. He's on SSI, but he smokes a lot of weed, but at least I don't gotta bail him out of jail every week, you know.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying is like, you know, that's the trouble with overachievers. You know, you don't look like the best people. People always compare you to that stuff, and it's like, hey, that's okay with me, you know. That's okay with me. I might have a big mouth. My mom doesn't like what I put on Facebook, on social media. She's always never liked what I said.
Is she your Facebook friend?
Oh hell no,
No.
hell no.
What does she have on her Facebook stuff? Like, if you were to go, what does she post? Does she just share things about?
She doesn't post anything on Facebook, but
Really?
or on Instagram.
So she doesn't. So she has social media. She just doesn't use it.
Oh yeah, she's got Facebook and Instagram, but you know she wants me on WhatsApp, so I get like 120 million messages from my family. You know, and I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to do that, and I'm not a bad son. You know, I'm
Just
not.
because you don't want to get on a WhatsApp app
Yeah, you know
thread
what?
with your 30 Chilean family members.
I got a lot of family, but you know, to be truthful, like I don't want to know what everything that's happening on that side of my family. I don't live in Chile. I love my family, but I don't need to hear everything. You know, like I'd rather stay on my side of the fence. You know what I
Do you
mean?
use WhatsApp?
I'm
The
not on.
WhatsApp app?
I'm not on WhatsApp at all. I'm not on WhatsApp at all.
I noticed that a lot of people are starting to do like scams.
Hmm.
That's like the latest place where you get scams. I keep getting texts on my regular phone that say, "Oh, hi Johnny." And I'm not Johnny. "Hi Johnny, I got your name and information and, we have this job that you can earn anywhere from $700 to $1,200 a day or something.
Yeah.
You get paid cash, so, reply."
You know how you figure out if it's a scam? They are, as soon as you add somebody on Facebook and they're like right away they're like, "How you doing?" That's a scam, you know.
You mean like you post about something in particular, or what do you mean?
No, as soon as you somebody said add asked to be your Facebook friend, and you're like, "Sure," because I say yeah to everybody. I don't give a fuck. I got like 5,000 friends, and right as soon as I say yeah, they're like, they come at me like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Oh, like, "Oh, I've got cryptocurrency for you."
Yeah, crypto. And I'm like, yeah. And I always mess with them. I'm like, yeah, where do I send the check? I'm
Right,
trying to buy crypto right now. Where do I send money? You
right.
know, like, wow. Or the other one on Instagram, like, I always get these hot women following me, and I'm like, fucking scam. I've never had any fucking model.
Oh, I get
Fucking,
those all the time. I get
yeah.
the friend requests from like hot chicks, and I'll go and okay. So here's my rule of thumb. Let me back up. My rule of thumb with accepting you as a Facebook friend is that I have to have known you. I have to have met you probably in real life. I think there's only a very low percentage of people I've not met in real life that I've accepted as friends. But anybody can follow me because I have a public page. With that said, if we haven't smoked a joint or hung out, or if I haven't met you in person, you're probably not my Facebook friend,
Hmm.
and you'll probably just sit there. Um, and that happens a lot of the time. And so, what were we just saying? What was I just saying?
Well, yeah, because I get these hot women like they
Oh,
follow me on Instagram.
so when I see one of those, and I go
Yeah,
and I'll get friend requests from hot chicks. First thing you do is you go to their page and you see what friends do we have in common. Do I know you somehow? More than likely, I don't because you're scantily clad.
yeah,
You're wearing two-piece bikinis and going, I'm looking for a date. Why doesn't guys like me? And you're like, yeah, right. Okay, you're a model or something.
yeah,
And then you scan down a little bit and you'll look at the mutual friends and it will be all comedians.
yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, fucking lonely guy comedians will accept anybody as their friend, even if they're scammers.
Like,
Like you. And
I,
so I won't do it. I
yeah.
literally will just, I will delete or block them because I know it's a bullshit scam. Now, there's one every day or there's a handful every
Huh.
day, but, I still block them.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, I used to do telemarketing. So you try and do telemarketing on me, I'll mess with you because I feel like I have a right to. I did that for a living. I used to sell the San Francisco Chronicle over the phone, but so I always ask them what they're wearing. Like what do you sound sexy? Where you at? Can you come over? Like,
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
it is creepy.
No,
But
I
guess
get it.
what? You called me. You called me. So I have a. You call somebody, they're gonna be creepy on you. What are you gonna say? They called me, right?
Right.
But yeah, anytime I add somebody, I follow somebody who follows me because I don't give a fuck. You wanna be my Facebook friend? I don't even care. I'll do it because to me, I really don't care. But as soon as they ask me, boom, how you doing right away? I'm like fucking scam, because like I said, I've never had a response from any fucking model, any fucking porn people, none of that shit. They don't respond at all, and the ones that do respond, those are always scams. That's always a good thumb.
Right.
Anytime a hot chick like, hey Chris, fucking I love you, pretty, or the other creepy thing that these models do is they always like pictures of other hot women.
Mm.
And like, oh, you got a hot picture? You're like, I'm gonna follow it. And it's like, so a good rule of thumb, if a hot chick is like hitting you up on Instagram or Facebook or any fucking social media, it's a scam. They're not real. They're not real. I hate to say this because a lot of guys fall for that shit. Like, don't be one of those guys that like spends 2 years online with some hottie that isn't real. Like, you're gonna catfish me. You gotta go all out. Catfishing me is hard because I don't. I'm too old for social media. I gotta see you in person to be. And even then, but these days, there's a lot of people running scams. There's a lot of people running scams. I mean, you gotta ID people these days.
Well, we should have joined the Santa Cruz Comedy Festival.
Yeah, like why isn't DNA? I mean, DNA.
Yeah, I actually didn't see him because he was working really hard, and so I need to reach out to DNA. DNA is doing the 11th annual Santa Cruz Comedy Festival,
Yeah.
and they've got multiple venues: the 11th Hour Coffee, of course, the Blue Lagoon, Bruno's Bar and Grill, the Crepe Place. It looks like, and
Yeah.
Game Santa Cruz.
Most of those festivals are kind of scams though.
Well, some of them are. So here, this is what I think it does. I think it builds community. I think it gets more entertainment out there because people are producing good quality shows. Because usually these competitions they're entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
And then it also gives goals to comedians to meet. We were just talking about being stagnant in stand-up comedy. You're like, oh, I don't really try to get booked anymore, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I do, and same thing here. I've been so busy with the studio and comedy day and my life that I haven't got as much stage time as I have in the last. So the last 2 years, I've had less stage time than I've had in the last 14 years,
Yeah.
and it's because I'm doing other things. Um, but I'm still consistently writing. Even the stuff I performed yesterday was mostly stuff that I had lived in the last 24 to 48 hours. It was just stupid stuff off the top of my head that was timely because, one, again, with something like Comedy Day, it has to be PG-13. Two, you don't want to repeat any comedy that you've done before.
Yeah. Well, I got to be clarified. I'm not saying all comedy festivals, but the ones that charge you like 50 or
Right.
$75.
So, like, we used to be a part, which is now defunct, and I don't care about talking about it, but like Mutiny Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
There's little ones like that which people pour their heart and soul into, and I'm talking about the old proprietor of Mutiny, that they would work really hard every year to get different venues, like we just did talked about DNAs, where there's different venues, different performers, getting performers from not only all over the Bay but the country, even the world, I guess,
Yeah.
and organizing that. And there is there's some real value to that stuff. But you're right. A lot of them are submit your clip, submit your money. We'll see if you get a set. And even if
Yeah.
you do, you could be in some mom and pop little bar where you're basically paying to perform.
Yeah.
And you know they're getting paid. So like with DNA,
I
I
don't
have no
think he
idea the
does that.
contest they're doing. No, I don't think DNA runs a scam, but like look at
Mm.
it. So like he has a coffee shop, a bar, which is his bar, right? And then Bruno's not his personal, but I mean that's his home field advantage over whatever.
Hmm.
Then there's another bar, and then there's a crate place. So when you have multiple venues that are willing to give you a place to have your event, and usually people like that end up being sponsors
Hmm.
because they end up either giving you money to towards prizes and money, or towards promotion, or towards um, yeah, especially the stuff that comedians can win.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean that's great. If it's done and done well, it's a
Yeah.
good thing. If it's just a scam for whatever entity to raise money for their thing, so
Hmm.
like I think all his money probably goes to future comedy festivals,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the thing, like the comedy contest thing, like, Danny Tetchy's got a comedy contest the last Wednesday of the month. And to me, like, those are fun until you lose, and that's one of the reasons I don't like doing the contest because, like, I think I did well and then I don't win and I feel bad. It's like, it kind of defeats the purpose of comedy.
Right.
And I'm not saying like, and the thing is, like, I would do it, except like, I don't think Danny would. I think Danny and what was the other?
Albert Lee
No, it's not Albert Lee, but the other guy who runs the contest is
used to be Albert.
it's what's his name? It's Tony Sparks' friend. I forgot. Oh, it's
Kiko?
no, the gay guy. What's his name? It's a gay comedy contest. It's the other guy. What's his name? I forgot it.
You mean a long time ago, his friend?
No, no, they're running one now. They're running one now. The last Wednesday of the month at that Danny Detchy has a gay comedy contest. I forgot his name.
Oh. So let me look, but keep talking.
And so, but the thing about it is, I don't think those two guys are gonna decide I win. I won the contest, and
Right.
I mean, I feel bad because I think I did well, and then I'm getting judged. Like
You said on Wednesdays?
on the last Wednesday of the month. Danny,
At Maze?
I
Hella
made
gay comedy?
the hella gay comedy. Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot the guy's what's the guy's name.
Uh,
It's the Indian guy. The
oh, you mean Charlie Ballard?
Charlie Ballard.
I have
Yeah.
not seen Charlie Ballard forever.
Well, Charlie Ballard and Danny Detchy, they're the judges of this contest. I like Danny Detchy. I mean, he's a
So
cool
wait,
guy.
hold on. So do you have to be gay to?
I don't think you gotta be gay. I
It's
mean,
just that's called the hella gay.
Yeah, I mean, cause
Because it's what it like even destroys is hella funny. This is hella gay.
hella gay, you know. They got the hella straight comedy contest, the hella gay, the hella Latino, hella funny, the hella not funny. But yeah, and then, like, there's that Zoom show Sunday nights that Vahe runs, and it's an open mic contest. And I would do it, but I want to sit there every Sunday and lose.
Right.
And it feels bad. I mean, open mics are bad enough without having somebody tell you, like, hey, you're not the best.
Right.
And this fool who's never been on stage in his life is sitting there winning the contest. Like,
So I was going through, so I went and liked Charlie Ballard on, but I was starting to look at some of the ones I passed. So I hit him, I
Yeah.
followed him.
yeah.
You see him. I unfollowed him a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Started following him. Just followed him because he's been on your show. I
Yeah.
skipped her.
Uh, uh,
So all the people I skipped versus all the people I like
Yeah,
in that one,
so-
I'm not following back. There's people that follow me, I won't follow back because I'm sorry, I just won't.
I don't know. My thing is, I'm okay with people. I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I love
no,
everybody.
No, I take that back.
I don't have anybody blocked on Facebook.
Oh, I have a few blocked on Facebook,
I don't have anybody.
but it's mostly people that have swerved into my lane,
I
talking
know.
shit. in
Well, I
front
know.
of people.
Yeah, I know exactly who the hell you got blocked on Facebook. But I
Oh,
have.
so you have blocked. So why are you saying you haven't blocked people? You do too.
I haven't blocked anybody on.
You've never blocked
I have
anyone.
blocked people, but currently I unblocked everybody because
Because after a while you unblock them.
yeah, most people I just unfriend them. Or they
Yeah.
unfriend me. I only, Mean Dave has got me blocked on every. And did I tell you I saw Mean Dave?
I saw Mean Dave yesterday, and you said that too. So there's a great
Yeah.
person. He likes to block people because you're not the only person I've heard
No,
that.
he
I've heard
blocks
that from
everybody.
so
Yeah.
many people.
But now we gotta talk about the Alameda Comedy Club.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the Alameda.
So the Alameda Comedy Club is going out of business. I guess they're not renewing their lease.
Which is really sad because I'm sorry. What is his name? Patrick Ford.
Wow.
So Patrick Ford has put a lot of work into that venue.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I mean, it's a really nice place.
I
But
would hate that somebody's going to come in and swoop up on his renovations and
But-
turn it into something that's not.
it's gonna be a restaurant, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be a restaurant and entertainment somehow, but
Well, they tried to do it to the Punchline. Remember a couple years ago, the Punchline was gonna move because they lost their lease.
right,
And then Dave Chappelle.
saved it
Saved-
along with a whole bunch
yeah.
of area comedians.
And
Right? I
the
remember.
the truth is, I thought it was a great idea to move the Punchline.
No, I don't think they were going to move it. I think they were going to close it.
No, they were gonna move it. I don't think they were gonna close
I
it.
think I think people were worried about it because they said they were going to move it, but they didn't have any actual plans.
No, because Cobb's used to be in Fisherman's Wharf like
Right.
20 years ago.
Right.
So the Punchline, it wasn't gonna close. I mean, they got one in Sacramento. It's a name. It's a brand name.
Right.
But I don't like that location. I don't know why it's up there.
Oh, because it's up on that windy little hill where
Yeah.
you have to climb the Pyramid of Giza to get to it.
My idea was they should stick it in the mall. Why not? Why the mall is empty?
I don't like things in the middle of a mall though, but
I
I don't like
open
things
up the
up
mall.
on that hill either. So I do like the Punch in a way. If I didn't have to park, if I didn't have to walk the stairs, if it was just literally that was almost street level, like you could walk right up to it,
Yeah.
and you had decent parking. Although I used to get decent parking, I would always park right behind it and walk up the back stairs, and I would get right there.
Yeah. I do think the Alameda Comedy Club should have had a different format than the way they were running it. I think it was hard for them to book established comedians because The Punchline, they sign contracts.
Well, they're
The
Live Nation ran, so they have contracts with heavy hitters.
and the Improv, they sign contracts. So you can't. You're not allowed to perform in any other Bay Area clubs if you're signed to one of these two places.
Well,
You
and
know.
so and that kind of follows suit throughout the country. You're either in a Live Nation club or you're in an indie club.
Yeah.
And if you're in an indie club, it's for all the people that haven't signed with Live Nation.
Yeah. I mean, Tommy T's the way they did it was smart. Most of their comedians, they're minorities. And that's one group that the Punchline and the Improv really
Yeah,
doesn't go after. So,
right. So it's the people that fall through the cracks, but they're also some of the most talented.
yeah. So, it's like the Comic View, that type of comedians.
Wow.
And, and the Punchline, they don't fuck around with
I
that.
had my mic down for a minute or two.
They don't fuck around with Comic View type comedians.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, your mic was down?
My mic was down while I adjusted it, and that was like 2 minutes ago. But they probably heard me because I'm loud anyway.
But I think that was the main reason why it was hard to book. And I think what they should have done is that they should have run it like the way the Comedy Store runs. They basically have like 10 comedians on a night, 15. They should have done it like just like that, or have just like an open mic thing where people can just drop in. When you start booking comedians, and that's when it gets hard. But I think they should have established like a group. They should have brought in like 100 comedians and just let them on every night, and build an audience like that. Kind of like a hangout type of place.
Kind of like the Punch on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But have someone like one of us that produces the show, not the person that runs the club.
Yeah.
To where you can have a basically a marathon of comedians just go up and just do it.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, I mean, it's good to book people, to have national comedians, but at the end, you're just booking people with a lot of followers, but you don't even know if you have a lot of followers, does that actually translate to a crowd and stuff?
I was going to call the club the Faction. It's called the Function.
The Function, yeah.
The Function. So the Function, actually, Stroy has a real opportunity here. He could do. So I know he's showcasing it as first owned and operated black comedy club in San Francisco. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But you were just talking about, so if anybody's listening, you have Live Nation out there that's grabbing up all the big people that demand and command the big money.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all of them, but like Whitney Cummings, Eliza Schlesinger, all the people that have Netflix specials.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a Netflix special, you probably have a deal with Live Nation. Anybody else may go to an independent like the Improv, because each city kind of has, even though it's a corporation, it's independently owned throughout the country. There's other places like Laugh Stop and all these other little chuckles and, giggles and
you
all
got
that
Laughs
shit.
Unlimited, you know.
In Sacramento. So you have all these places that can get the indies, but then here in San Francisco, it used to be, I remember when Tommy T's was here in San Francisco, Tommy T would get people like, what's his name? George Lopez.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger urban acts that would not sign with Live Nation because they weren't going to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the market Stroy should grab in the city.
Yeah.
So not only should he be trying to showcase the minorities he wants and doesn't think gets the stage time that are talented here in the Bay, but he also should be pairing them up with people that are disenfranchised with big comedy, i.e. Live Nation, which this video will come back and bite me in the ass someday, because if I was ever to get offered a deal with Live Nation, they'd be like, but why are you throwing us under the bus here?
Well, the thing about Tommy T's is that the owner of Tommy T's, I knew the guy because he didn't get rich off of comedy clubs. That guy owns real estate. So the other thing we got to realize, comedy clubs don't get you rich. You know, there's a
Yeah.
reason why most of them are owned by chains these days. You know, it's hard. It's hard to get an audience. It's hard to get them to buy food, buy drinks. You know,
Well, even Live Nation is probably kind of breaking even on a lot of this.
yeah, Live Nation is getting sued right now for being a monopoly, which they are. They are a monopoly.
There's a lot of those.
You
It's
know,
always been like it here in the city. We're used to things like what was it, Ticketron and Bass Tickets and Bill
yeah.
Graham Presents and
Well, yeah. Now they're all part of Live Nation.
right. Well, no, yeah, they've all been gobbled up and turned into this transformer we call
Yeah.
Live Nation.
And now Live Nation is also reselling tickets. So
Well, even us. So we're in this promotion. We're promoting Live Nation. We're promoting Edge Studios. We're promoting Junkyard Rat.
yeah.
But we're doing this because we want comedy to live on no matter where you're at. And we're here in the land of good and plenty in San
Oh,
Francisco,
yeah.
where you can see comedy every night of the week. It may be amateur comedy, but you can see it every night.
And the other thing about Live Nation is their biggest stars aren't going to be at the Punchline or Cobb's. They put their bigger stars in the big rooms.
Oh, you mean like the arenas? Yeah,
The
if
arenas.
it's a Chris Rock, it's a like or what did I just say? Eliza, Whitney.
Yeah.
Those people are gonna get like the smallest venue they're gonna get for a Live Nation is gonna be like Oakland, like what is
Yeah.
it called? Paramount Theater or
The
something,
Paramount Theater.
which is a huge venue.
Yeah, the Paramount Theater. And so yeah, you know, I think, but you know, Alameda's hot right now. The property's hot. A lot of people are moving into Alameda. But I think that, and it was bad timing because they opened it up during COVID.
So
and
it's
stuff.
right. Well, the same thing with our studios here. It was like, oh, I think this is the right time. No, it's not.
So, but yeah, it's like, I mean, I was hoping they would do well, but
I think we all do. Like even
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not saying that people like Live Nation are like big pharma and we shouldn't patronize them. No, they're still putting out
Yeah.
great product. They're still trying to help people laugh. That's why we're doing this with Live Nation. We don't mind promoting them. I'm just saying there's room for everybody to play.
There
It
is
doesn't
room
matter
for
if you're a
everybody.
big boy, a minority, as long as you're talented.
Yeah.
You should be able to fit into one of the pre-designed systems out there. But then there should be independence. And there are so many clubs that are non-independent. So when we lose something like Alameda Comedy Club, it makes me be worried for people like the Function
yeah.
and Stroy, because it's just location, location, location. And it also takes business smarts. And I know Patrick Ford, he designed a great club.
Yeah.
That club's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
It's in a good town. We were just talking about Alameda.
Alameda-
Great town.
Alameda's a really fun place.
And people have money. So it's
Yeah.
not like people are broke. It's also not oversaturated with comedy.
Yeah.
Like you just said, they're probably going to close it and turn it into a restaurant. They don't need another flipping restaurant in Alameda. What they need is a comedy club.
Yeah. But the thing, I mean, my thing is when you're opening up anything in the Bay Area, I mean, make sure it's near BART stations. If you want everybody to be able to show up. Alameda's not near a BART station. You got to drive in, you know. I mean, the Function is in a great area. It's near a BART station. It's very well planned out. It's a small club, but that's how you get started. You know, you get a loyal following, then you move to the bigger venues. But yeah, I actually did the open mic. I think I bombed and stuff. In fact,
So I was on a contest and I think I did an open mic. So I only performed there twice. Beautiful club.
yeah, it's a really nice club. You know, I heard the food is good. I didn't try the food. I wasn't even inside. I was outside. I think it was during COVID. A friend of mine came to the show, and he said all the comedians were unfunny. He said I was the funniest of the unfunny, that's why we're not friends anymore. Like, how dare you say that? And he has the balls to tell people that randomly, like, hey, yeah, you think you're a fucking comedian. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you know?
All right, so this straight from Edge News. Edge News reports Alameda, California. It will soon be the final curtain call for Alameda Comedy Club as the business plans to close by the end of the year. On a Facebook post Friday, the Alameda Comedy Club said they have decided against renewing their 5-year lease. It's a 5-year lease.
5-year lease.
The club signed its lease just months before the COVID pandemic that brought California and the world to a standstill. During that time, the club received no government assistance because there was they were not considered a startup because it was in the middle of it. It was all of us, the club shared. Keeping the club open during that period proved expensive for the club, and since the pandemic, an overall slowdown in the entertainment sector has proven difficult to sell tickets to even break even, they said. It has been an absolute joy to bring shows along with great food and cocktails to you the past few years. We are grateful that we've shared this experience with our amazing staff, with all of our talented performers that have graced our stage. The club shared in their post. Their website currently advertises shows through December 22nd. No additional shows will be scheduled as the business figures out their options.
Yeah. No Christmas bonuses for the employees.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. I don't think they're having.
Well, that just sucks. So I think we need a little bit of everything. I think we need big clubs that are owned by places like Live Nation. I think we need the indies like Alameda and the Function here in San Francisco on Market Street. And yes, that's a plug.
You know, I used to go to the Tommy T's open mic every week. Now they have it once a month, you know. They give you like 3 minutes.
They should do that weekly. They should do it on their slowest night that they're open.
They charge you like $5, but it's on a Wednesday. It used to be every Monday.
They charge you to do time?
They charge you $5. They give you 3 minutes. And my thing was, a lot of my friends I met through that open mic, we used to show up every Monday. You know, we would get booked at the club. I mean, it was fun. And I think there should be a requirement that they should have a weekly open mic, you know, a real open mic, you know. The San Jose Improv, they call it San Jose Improv used to have a weekly open mic every Tuesday. I used to go to it all the time back years ago. I mean, now they do it once a month. Now you got to get booked on it. Like, now it's hard to get booked. Like, it's not even an open mic. But I think there should be a requirement that they should have open mics. I mean, that's how you develop talent, you know? That's how you do it. I mean, yeah.
So we got about 10, 15 minutes left in show. I want to make sure that you guys know that, again, Live Nation, Edge Studios, and Junkyard Rat is teaming up to give you tickets going out to first the Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. It is Brittany Schmidt at Cobb's. And the second show that we have tickets for is for Friday, September 27th, 2024. Doors open at 9:30. Wow, show starts at 9:45. That's a quick seating. That's for Kevin Herrera.
What time is it on Friday? 9:45?
9:45 show, so it's the late show, right?
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Like, a friend of mine, she goes to Tommy T's all the time, and sometimes she sees both shows in one night. And she told me that the first show is always funnier than the second one.
Really?
That if you're going to go see, because they're tired later on. So she, you know, just from a comedy fan, she said, go to the first show. You know, just saying.
Interesting. I always thought the later show was a little bit more wilder.
It probably is a little wilder and stuff.
But you're right. Maybe they're not as fresh.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's a weird thing. People dress up to go to comedy shows. I didn't realize that. It's a big event. I saw Eddie Griffin when I was in Vegas, you know, and it was a big theater. There was no drink minimum, you know. I think maybe they should get rid of the drink minimum stuff, you know.
Oh, and to get those tickets, you got to make sure you subscribe to Junkyard Rat.
Junkyard Rat on Instagram, Junkyard Rat on TikTok, Junkyard Rat on X, Junkyard Rat on TikTok, you know, and take a picture of it, and I'll give you the free tickets.
That's right. We will get them to you. You can
Oh,
either
yeah.
come in live to the studio, or we will send them out in the mail, or have them on wheel call or
Or
something
just
for you.
give me some weed, and I'll give you some tickets. We can trade.
This
We
is
can-
a comedy show, by the way, folks. That's not real.
I have a friend that gets free tickets from the Punchline all the time. You know,
Really?
he's always at the Punchline. You know, in fact, the weird thing, you know, Ben Feldman, who works at the Punchline, he was at Cal's about a month ago, and he was like he was reading jokes off a notebook, and he said, you know, I saw Sarah Silverman, and she read off a notebook. He said that, and he felt like if it's good enough for Sarah, it's good enough for me. You know, how you feel about comedians with notebooks on stage, reading jokes?
Well, I don't think it depends on the environment. If it's a showcase, no. If it's an open mic, yeah. If it's anything in between, you really got to know. So I think it's fine if it's in that situation. But I've seen people on specials like HBO, Netflix, whatever, have notes.
Mm-hmm.
And even Joan Rivers at the end, and even Phyllis Diller would write their own cue cards, and they'd be huge. And even if you ever watch Bill Maher, I can't remember. I think whatever special it is, he has all the jokes lined up on 8x10 paper going across the stage.
Well, I've seen Bill Maher live. I saw him years ago to Atlantic City, and his whole set were basically the set. His jokes from the TV show. He took all the jokes, the monologues, and he made it into some huge set, and he did it on stage. You know.
So it was basically the same material you saw on TV, just put together, compiled.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was funny, but yeah, you know, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with cue cards. I mean,
Even those, most of the time, like his monologues, I think he writes or partially writes them, but I still think he has writers write them for him.
Oh yeah,
right?
he's got writers. They all got writers.
Right,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is, when you and I do a set of comedy, we don't have somebody else write for us.
No.
So when he does a monologue on Real Time with Bill Maher on a Friday night, and then he takes that and turns it into part of a set that he plays for at HP Pavilion or something,
Yeah.
or the SAP Center, that doesn't seem right. It seems like
No.
it seems like that then he has writers writing for him.
Well, yeah, he has that. He has, but yeah, I saw him in Atlanta.
If they write for him on the show, and then he takes the show stuff and puts it into his nightclub act or his, yeah.
This was about 10, 12 years ago. I hate to admit this because people don't like to hear this, but the casino I've won the most money was the Trump. I won money at the Trump casino in Atlantic City. It was like 12 years ago. Was it?
How much money did you win though?
I won like $500. I mean, I'm not I won it on a slot machine. I never forgot about it because I've never won a lot of money on slots. I just put $20 for fun,
Right.
but yeah, I did win money. And the Atlantic City is nothing like Vegas. I mean, it's not even close, maybe it's like there's not a lot of casinos nearby. But it's still a fun area, but
Well, and they said they used to make jokes about him losing his club in Atlantic City because they said, how can you lose a casino? It's always the house wins. You should always profit.
Well, he had 3 casinos, and you're competing against yourself at one point. So, I mean, he should have stuck with one. But it's true. But it's not true. Like, casinos don't always make money. That's like a myth,
Well,
That's like
okay,
a
but
myth.
hold on. So it's the house that decides the odds in winning something.
Mm-hmm.
like slot machines that says every so many dollars that you pump into this machine, so many dollars are going to come out.
Yeah.
And so you do it so it's entertaining. So every $100, if it gives you 30, you're still making 70 on every 100.
I guess if you look at a slot machine, there's a little number that tells you the last time that it hit a lot of money. So if you understand all that,
You can walk up and go, oh, wow, this one hasn't hit for like 3 days. It's
Yeah.
ready. It's ready to pop.
It's ready to pop. And the other thing is, if you find
I
a
didn't know
slot
that.
machine that gives a lot of money, those are the ones that always hit money. But yeah, when you're dealing with computers, I mean, it's all a mess. It's a whole mess, you know. I used to play like video poker. I'm okay at video poker because I know the fucking rules. You know, I know the fucking
You
rules.
know how to play cards.
But it's like after a while you get bored because you're like you want to win a lot of money, but it's like yeah, you know. But I do got friends that are big casino people. I'm not a big. I've never played any. I haven't played any table games. I've never been on the poker, the blackjack. I've never done any of that stuff. You know.
Right.
I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble on sports. I do once in a while when I'm sure I'm gonna win. Like when I'm sure I'm gonna win something. Last time I was in Vegas was during the Oscars. And I was ready to bet on the Oscars. But it turns out you can't bet on the Oscars.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not a gambler.
Yeah, what, you can't? I thought you can bet almost on everything.
No, the Oscars you can't bet on the Oscars. I think that even the presidential there's things but
There's certain things that are off limits, is what you're saying?
in Vegas, but almost every state allows you to bet on the Oscars.
I thought they can almost let you bet on anything.
I don't think so. I try to find the odds. And it turns out they don't allow you to bet on that stuff. But I'm almost every state, except for California. California might be the only state that doesn't allow you to bet on sports at
Right.
this moment and stuff.
Right.
You know. But yeah, if you want to go to Cobb's Comedy Club this Friday or this is
Okay.
it this
It's
no, this-
Sunday. It's Sunday, September 22nd, 2024, 7 p.m. for Brittany Schmidt, and then it was Friday, September 27th, 2024 for Kevin Herrera.
Yeah, and these are like 2 drink minimum, so or 2 drink item.
Or a 2-item minimum, yeah. So a drink and a thing of nachos or something like that.
Do they actually check you though? I mean,
Yeah, they do.
Are they like-
or at the very least, what they do is they charge you for bottled water, and like a bottled water is like $6.
yeah,
So no matter what, you're probably, even if you just getting a couple bottles of water, that's $12 for comedy. But what is it?
Oh.
It's normally $20 to $30, and you're still buying the 2-item minimum.
when
So
I saw Eddie Griffin, they made us put our cell phones in a little bag, but they essentially told us that if you take a picture of this show or videotape it, we're gonna kick your ass. You know?
no, they weren't going to sue you.
They're gonna-
And so now Joe Rogan, I know, does it. I know Chappelle does it.
Yeah.
Certain people, when you walk in, they literally take your phone from you and zip it up.
Yeah, but they let you keep the bag with your phone inside. They're not keeping your phone, but
Oh, they don't keep your phone.
no, they put in a little locked bag, and when you come out, they with a computer thing, they open up your bag. So
Oh.
basically, you can't open up the fucking bag, but you got the phone with you.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh, it's probably like a little sensor tag, like if you
Yeah.
stole something.
Yeah, so they put in a little baggie, they lock it up, but you keep your phone because, I mean, a place full of like a box full of people's phones is a problem. But
Right.
you keep the phone or whatever you got with you. But essentially, before the show started, they're like, "We're gonna kick your ass. Your neighbor's gonna beat the shit out of you. Don't even try." But there was no drink minimum. There was none of that shit. You had your seat.
Yeah, because if it's like, what was it? They were, who has a comedy club? Joe Rogan has a comedy club.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you do your club right. And they said, what about that? And they said, well, you don't serve food. And he goes, no.
Nah,
He goes, there you can go out to eat before or after.
yeah, you don't need
He
food.
goes, we don't need people eating and
Yeah,
people serving shit. And
yeah.
he goes, no, just come in, get your comedy, leave.
Like these movie theaters where they serve you food. Like, is there anything more annoying? You're watching a movie and there's a fucking waiter walking around asking you if you want some dinner. Like, I don't want to fuck that shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need food, you know. I mean, I think almost all comedy clubs. I don't know if the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, they have some kind of food. I think.
Yeah, well, most comedy clubs do, especially ones like we were just talking, the bigger ones that have bigger names. The bigger the name, the more
Yeah,
food they have, or the crazier the food they have. I
because
had some so good food yesterday. I wanted it again.
because you got to get a chef. You know, it's easier just to serve drinks and all that stuff. But it's like, I mean, there's ways of doing it. You know, but I'm not saying they shouldn't serve food because I'm down with making money. I'm all about money too. I'm cool with money. I like money, you know, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's like I remember, was it Pearl Jam? Pearl Jam, remember years ago, they tried to go on a tour without Live Nation and they barely made it. Like the truth is that as a musician, it's really hard to tour without Live Nation these days. Comedians, it's easier because there's a lot of comedy clubs. There's a lot of venues. You don't need that much equipment room. But I mean, they do it. But the thing is, yeah. But I don't think they're ever gonna break up Live Nation. You know, especially now. I don't think the governments we got going now are they're not about monopolies. I remember they tried to break up Microsoft and they didn't do it.
Right.
I think that was the last corporation they considered a monopoly, but they're all monopolies. You know, you look at the TV networks. But yeah, I mean, that's how I do it. But I do think that these clubs should have open mics weekly, you know?
Right.
I do think it would be a good idea, you know, like I mean it is cool like the punchline on Sunday nights is cool, you know. But yeah, I have friends that go there every week and they give them like one joke. They let them do one joke and it's like how many people are going to be there, you know, every week if they can only do one joke,
Right.
you know? But some people do. I mean, it's a great place. I'm all about Live Nation. I love Live Nation. I wish they would hook me up with other stuff though, you know.
We'll try to do more of that in the future. So we're getting close to that time. Do your sign off. You guys know how to get your tickets. I hope you guys claim them because if you don't, they're going to sit here and then Junkyard Rat's going to be going to 2 shows or selling them on the down low. No, he'll probably end up going, but they'll be here for you. Make sure you send them a picture.
Oh
Do your
yeah.
thing.
So you can catch me at Cal's this Friday, every Friday, in North Beach. Actually, we're not far from the Cobb's Comedy Club.
No, we're not.
You know, so catch me every Friday, every Monday on my podcast. And you got a show Friday. Do you want to plug your show?
Yeah, I have a show at the Kelly Cullen Theater in the Tenderloin, 220 Golden Gate Avenue. It's from 5 to 7. It's the talent show. That's right. It's Project Golden Gate talent show. Check it out. I don't even think they're charging, and if they do, it's something nominal, and all that stuff goes to Project Golden Gate for all their programming and stuff they do. They help people that are having problems with alcohol and addiction and stuff like that. So make sure you go check out everything that Project Golden Gate does, Edge Studios does, and it's called TNDC, Tenderloin Neighborhood Development Corp. Yeah, TNDC.
I'm even surprised there's a place in the Tenderloin to put on shows. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful theater. Check it out. Again, I think it's called Kelly Cullen. I know it's the Cullen Theater, 220 Golden Gate. I'm going to get out of here before they nab my car. So
Oh yeah.
we'll see you guys next week. I'm going to take off the little thing. We could take off the logo for Kells, by Kells. get your tickets. Hit up the Junkyard Rat. He's got your tickets. We'll see you guys next week. And stay cool, whatever you do.